Alright everyone, this has been my most requested video, how to beat Lordknightmon in BT5 format. This is definitely the strongest deck in the game. Sometimes it can feel like an uphill battle trying to get any sort of foothold against them, but there are some things you can keep in mind. If you haven't been playing around the deck properly, then you're probably falling right into their traps. So we're going to go over what those traps are, how to play around them, and what are the best decks you can play to have a good shot about winning this matchup. Alright, so what are their win conditions? Number one, their DP reduction and removal and their swarm go hand in hand. So because their on-play effects are DP reduction effects, so the Starmons, the Knightmons, and I guess WARGROWL and Slash we can also kind of count in there too. They can build their board wide while simultaneously chipping away at your board. So as they build up their multiple Digimon to attack, they're also deleting your Digimon, so you can't mount a counter attack. That's definitely the most frustrating part about playing against Lordknightmon, is that they get all those effects for free because of the Lordknightmon effect, where when it attacks, it can summon a level 3 or a warrior from the Lordknight player's hand. So in this case, it would be all their level 3s again, so Starmons, Bushiagumon, Pulsemon. Those are going to be the main ones to watch out for. Then for level 4, there is Gladion. That card sucks and they shouldn't be playing it, and don't even worry about it if they do play it. Level 5, Knightmon, you should definitely be worried about it because they play 4 and the card's absolutely insane. It's minus 4k DP on play, and they do get that when it is summoned off the Lordknight. So it's just, again, swarm and removal all in one. And finally, there's the classic Bushi for game, and we all have been on the receiving end of Bushi for game. So they can play it from the Lordknight, or they can Blinding Ray and go to 5 memory and just hard play it from their hand. There's a lot of ways this card can come out and get in that extra swing that you weren't expecting. So always take that into account. Okay, so here is a big Lordknight play that I see people fall into all the time. This is like the main trap they set up. It is their turn 3 WARGROWLmon into Slash Angemon. So how does that work exactly? So let's say Lordknight goes first. Their opening play is Rookie into a 1-cost level 4. They pass you 1 memory. Okay, so let's say your counterplay is your own Rookie into a 2-cost level 4. Let's say it's a blocker. Okay, so you pass them 1 memory. With their 1 memory, they're going to Digivolve into WARGROWLmon and pass you 2 memory. WARGROWLmon's going to stay in the raising area. Okay, and then that means that on their following turn, they are threatening you with minus 4,000 DP, and then you have to assume that they also have the Slash Angemon, which is minus 8,000 DP. So that's 12,000 DP total. And the way it breaks down is pretty brutal, because minus 4k will delete any Rookie, and then the minus 8k will delete any level 5, basically. So again, back to the previous example, they just did their WARGROWL in raising, so they pass you 2 memory. And now you have your blocker, right? It was your 6k blocker, you raise that up, okay, and then from there you can play another Rookie, right? That's probably going to cost 3, so you pass them over 1 memory. Or you can Digivolve on top of your blocker and go for a level 5. So your board is either your 6k blocker and a Rookie, or it's just a single level 5. Both those scenarios, you lose to this combo. So in the first scenario, where you have the blocker and the Rookie, the WARGROWLmon comes out of raising, Digiburst 2, they kill your Rookie, Digivolve into Slash Angemon, and they kill your blocker. And then you're left with 0 cards, and they have a level 6 already established. And then in the second scenario, where you have level 5, they just WARGROWL it and then slash it, and they kill it no matter what, because that's 12k DP. You're not surviving that. Okay, so how do you play against that? It seems pretty inevitable, especially if they have the WARGROWL in raising. Number 1, stay in your raising. Just don't raise up. It's really that simple. People just fall into it all the time. They're not looking at their opponent's raising area. They're not understanding what effects can come out. and they just handshake the Lordknight removal, and then they wonder why they have no cards on their board, and the Lordknight player has like 3 or 4. Of course, they don't always have the Slash Angemon. You can just kind of put them on do you have it or do you not. If you're in a poor situation and that's your only out, is for them to just not have it. And sometimes it works out, but most of the time it does not, especially against players who are running the standard Lordknightmon version, which plays 3 Slash Angemons. So more likely than not, they have it. Alright. What else can you do to avoid this play besides staying and raising? Honestly, it's just that. Just stay in raising. Instead of bringing out your blocker, just Digivolve into a level 5 and raising, pass your turnover, and then either they bring out their WARGROWL and do a level 6, or they keep their WARGROWL and raising. It kind of turns into a game of chicken. So you're just going to have to play it by ear at that point and try to maybe bait out the WARGROWL removal with another card you don't really care about, and then that way you can safely bring up your stack from your raising area. Okay, and then it's important to understand what all their removal options really are. Sometimes it feels like they're kind of grabbing minus DP effects from out of their ass, and they kind of are, because they can just do all of this for free for playing their deck, like on autopilot basically. So their DP reduction effects come from their eggs. So Pikmon, minus 1000 DP when they attack and they have 3 or more Digimon. Koromon is minus 1000 DP when they attack and they have 3 or less security. So check their eggs always, which one they have and which one they can activate. They can force themselves to be able to activate it either way. So they can always have 3 or more Digimon, or they can Blinding Ray and put themselves to 3. Stuff like that. Level 3, that's the Starmons, so minus 1000 per Digimon on their board. They can play for free off of Knightmon or Angemon. So just be conscious of how much Digimon they have on their board. If they have a Lordknight, always consider that they'll have 1 more Digimon on their board. So let's say they have a Lordknight plus a Knightmon, and when you pass the turn over to them, so you have to account for the Lordknight, the Knightmon, the free Digimon they can get off the Lordknight attack, and then they can still hard play another Digimon after that. So sometimes they'll go Lordknight swing, and then they'll summon another rookie, and then they'll play the Starmons from their hand, and they can minus 4000 DP on something. Plus, let's say they got the Pikmon off, so that's minus 5000 DP. And then they can still probably even find another minus DP effect somewhere in that. I don't know, their Knightmon can turn into a Slash or stuff like that, or maybe they had a whole nother egg stack going on. Alright, level 4s, they don't run any minus DP effects in their level 4s, so you don't have to worry about that. Level 5s, WARGROWL and Knightmon are both minus 4000 DP. WARGROWL is Digiburst, and Knightmon is on play. They can hard play their Knightmons from their hand, and sometimes that is a good play and they will go for it, so be careful, especially if you're playing the level 4 cards that are 3000 DP and they're 3 costs to play, like let's say Roachmon, Fugamon, Tobiomon. Those cards are played because they help with bricks. So in like a scenario where you didn't draw a rookie, you can just hard play that onto your field, and you don't have to feel super bad about only passing over 3 memory. But if you're the Lordknight player and you see, oh, they didn't have a rookie and they hard slammed this low cost, low DP level 4, here is my Knightmon return. I give them 4 memory, but I killed their level 4, which might have been their out to go into the level 5 and level 6. And if they don't draw a rookie, to put over their egg, then they're super hard bricked at that point, and they've established a level 5 on their board that they can then go into their Knightmon and start getting their effects off for free. So actually, just my advice here is to don't play those 3k 3 cost level 4s. I think they get hard farmed by Lordknight, honestly. Okay, their level 6 removal effects is Slash Angemon, minus 8000 DP to 1 Digimon. It can combo off of WARGROWL and Knightmon, so that's 12,000 DP they can remove in 1 turn, which is going to be pretty much every level 6 or lower in the game. Exceptions are Nidhogg, opposing Lordknightmons, and I think that's it. And then finally, if they're level 7 Valder Arm, they can minus 7,000 DP twice, so that's 14,000. And keep in mind that there are scenarios where they can go WARGROWL into Valder Arm. Anytime they have 3 or more memory, they have that line open to them, and that would be 26,000 DP they can remove, which is going to be a pretty tough board wipe to swallow. So if they have a TK established, watch out for that play also. All right. Another thing that you want to do when you're playing against the deck is you want to attempt to decipher like what exactly their top end is, because the yellow level 3s and 4s are pretty standard. All variants of Lordknight, etc. kind of play the same bottom end. There are a few different key cards to look out for. For example, if you see the level 4 Gatomon, then you can rest assured that they are playing Mastamon. And then if you're playing Mastamon, then there's a very high probability that they're then playing Zwart Defeat. So there's a small chance that swinging into their security will summon a Zwart Defeat on yourself randomly, and then that could win them the game in situations where they maybe even had no business winning. A Zwart Defeat is just kind of a lame card like that. But yeah, just be aware that if you see an early Gatomon or a tie and mat, also usually means that they're playing Mastamon Zwart Defeat tech. So be careful of those cards. Another tech card is the Anguimon, level 5. The one, if they're at 3 or less security, they can play a level 3 from their hand. So you see this card, you can see this card in every Lordknightmon build, so it doesn't necessarily say anything about their top end, but you can assume a little more certainly that they are probably playing Lucemon if they play Anguimon, because they want the opportunity to get the effect off more for Lucemon, I mean. And also, Anguimon combos extremely well with WARGROWL, because WARGROWL can attack twice and get the effect off twice. So just keep that in mind. It might not necessarily be an indicator of what they're actually playing, but it's always just something that you can look out for, and maybe you can make an educated guess as to what other cards they're running based on these. Okay, and here is the big question. How do I win the Lordknightmon mirror match? This is probably going to be one of the most common matches that you see if you choose to play this deck, because guess what? A lot of other people like to play this deck because it is the best deck. So, number one, play chicken with your WARGROWLmons. If you're the first person to bring up their WARGROWLmon, chances are you are going to lose out on the clapback. So keep your WARGROWL in raising, and then try to bait out their WARGROWL with other cards that are floaters. So like Pulsemons, yeah, what else? Just a rookie into a level 4. Just cards that don't have as much value as what that WARGROWL stack could give you. Because then if they go WARGROWL slash and you baited it out, then you can come back with your own WARGROWL slash, and then that will put you in the advantageous position. So just be careful of that. Run the 2 cost to Digivolve level 5s. So Sirenmon, Superstarmon, and Telemon. Why do you want to do this? Because in the Lordknightmon mirror, oftentimes the first person to resolve a Lordknight is going to win. So the 2 cost to Digivolve will get you there 1 turn faster. Why is that? Okay, so let's go back to our whole chaining example that we like to do. So level 2 to level 3, 0 memory. And then you go into level 4 for 1 memory, you pass them 1. Let's say they pass you 1. So now with 1 memory, you go into a level 5. So here you only pass them 1, right? And then they have to pass you 2 or 3 at that point. Because for them to go from level 4 to level 5, they are most likely going to have a 3 cost to Digivolve, because that's the most common one. Or in that same situation, they could pass you more than 2 memory, and in that case, you can go your Sirenmon into Lordknight in raising, and then threaten it in raising, and they're not going to be able to match you. because when they do their Lordknight, they pass the turn to you. You bring out your Lordknight. You get the first swing off. You resolve your Lordknight first. It's probably going to be good for you. All right. And finally, if you are very, very tired of playing the mirror match and you want a hot tech card that's going to win you the game, play BT4 WARGROWL. Why do you play BT4 WARGROWL to win the mirror? Because you bring out the WARGROWL and then you use the effect to minus DP on their Lordknight. Because remember, Lordknight, the big weakness of Lordknight is that it has to swing to get its effect off. So that means on your turn, it's going to be suspended, so you can attack over it. And of course, Lordknightmon has the built-in effect that protects it against that, where for each Digimon on their side of the board, it gains plus 1000. But luckily, the WARGROWL effect is that you subtract 6000 DP when using its restand effect. So you subtract 6000 DP on the Lordknightmon, and then I would say 99% of the time you're going to be able to swing over it. And even if they have a blocker, guess what? WARGROWL can attack twice. So you can just swing over it again. So you force them to have 2 blockers. And even in some situations, you can then run over the Lordknightmon with one of your other Digimon that you have established, because you lose 6000 DP for the WARGROWL effect. And then let's say in this situation they do have 2 blockers, they would lose 2000 more DP from losing the 2 blockers, which is pretty insane. Okay. If you are not playing the mirror match and you want to play a deck that does very well against Lordknightmon, you have several options. Like I said before at the beginning of the video, Lordknight is kind of the gatekeeper of the meta. So if your deck can't beat Lordknightmon, then it's probably just not a good deck right now, unfortunately. So that's why all these decks here that I listed are meta decks, and that's the reason why they're meta decks, is because they have the chance to win against Lordknight pretty handily. So your best matchups are going to be Green OTK and Green Control. Green OTK actually hard farms Lordknight Slash variants. You're just faster than them, you can clear the security a lot faster, and then Chaosmon can swing over their guys. And yep, it's just a very good matchup for green. If you're the yellow player, they have to see cute mons in order to have a chance. Especially because Lordknight is very vulnerable to Nidhogg, because again, it has to swing to get its effect off, which means it's always going to get bot decked by Nidhogg effect. Green Control is very good against Lordknight, because Reflectimon can stop Lordknight from attacking, which prevents it from getting its effect off. That's a pretty self-explanatory reason why it's good. Security Control is good against Lordknight, because it is very good at being able to remove the Lordknight stack from the game, and then Lordknightmon has to swing into all the options. Rookie Rush is good against Lordknightmon. It's just a faster version of the same deck for like the first 2 or 3 turns, and oftentimes as Lordknight you don't have a single card board wipe to be able to deal with their swarm. So if you're the Lordknight player and you can get like chain removal off every turn, so you can go like Starmons into WARGROWL, into a Slash, into a Valderon, like that's probably like their only opportunity to win. But if you're the Rookie Rush player, you're just much more consistent at being able to win by turn 4. And finally, the aforementioned WARGROWL will farm Lordknight decks. If you're wondering why you would even play Lordknight over WARGROWL if WARGROWL has such a good Lordknight mirror, it's because WARGROWL actually has a poorer matchup against the rest of the field. So you don't want to be the guy who gets stuck playing WARGROWL into, I don't know, purple. It's actually not a bad matchup, probably just because WARGROWL is faster, but I'm not super familiar with it, so I'm not going to talk out of my ass about that one. Okay, unfortunately, I don't really have much tips outside of that if you're not playing one of these meta decks. Let's say, I'll give some quick shoutouts. If you're playing red, I have never lost to red when I play Lordknightmon. It's just, I have to, if I'm the Lordknight player and I'm playing against red, I have to hard brick, so my hand has to basically be all level 6s, completely unplayable, and they have to draw basically their chain. Like they have to draw the nuts. So if you're playing Shoutmon into Lordknight, you just you're gonna have a bad time, very bad time. Purple. If you can stall out the Lordknight, then your Zwart combo does very well into Lordknight because Zwart's effect does delete Lordknightmon. And then you can bring out 2 blockers, or you can bring out your whole combo and get like your 2 Liliths, or yeah, however their loop goes. You guys know the drill on that one. So yeah, purple is just can you survive. Can again, like, just hide in raising as long as you can. This is where Tactimon comes into play, because Tactimon can actually hide in raising without losing the on Digivolve effect that Chaos Gallant and Anubismon do. So you're kind of forced to bring those out of raising to get any value out of them, which is why I don't like them in purple. Play Tactimon, please. And what other color? Blue. Hexablow gets farmed by Lordknight, and there's nothing they can do, because once Hexablow dies to the DP reduction, you can just swing, and they can't do anything about it. Imperial has a fair shot against any deck at any time, just because I've said this before, sometimes they just draw all their pieces and they win, and there's nothing you can do about it. But Imperial is a single stack deck, basically, so it kind of runs into the same problem as Shoutmon, where it is very easy for Lordknight to delete single stacks because of the WARGROWL slash combo, Knightmon slash, Valder Arm. So yeah, as soon as their first Imperial stack dies, it's very easy for the Lordknight player to stabilize. But like I said, sometimes as Imperial, you just draw your nut draw and you win no matter what. So if you're an Imperial player, you just know how that goes. That's why you play the deck, probably. What other color? Black. Not too sure about the black matchup. Ultimate Flare is good against Lordknight, because you Digivolve their Lordknight and clear it, and then if they played rookies with the effect, the rookies also die. So it's a pretty good board wipe. It's I would say it's not as good as Nidhogg, but they are very similar in that regard. So yeah, run Ultimate Flare in your black deck. Zwart Defeat is good against Lordknight because you can pop TKs, which they need in order to make their plays. Lordknight very much runs on that 3 memory threshold, and they can you can do the play where you can crash into their Lordknight. So 13 on 13. Lordknight's most common DP is probably 13k for the most part. That's how big it is on average. So you can crash and then delete one other guy. So you kill the Lordknight and the card they called off its effect. So that's pretty good. What else am I missing? I think that's about it. I think I just covered all the meta decks. So yeah, Lordknight, it's the best deck in the format for sure. It is frustrating to play against, but just as long as you avoid this WARGROWL into slash play, if you're the guy who's been playing into this whole time and you're saying, how do I beat Lordknightmon? They always beat me. But you're playing into this every single time, that's probably why. Like, just don't play into this and you'll probably have a much better success rate. And just keep track of what their removal is and try not to play into it, you know. That's really all there is to say about playing against this deck, unfortunately. I wish I had a better tip, but there's a reason this deck is tier 1 and probably the most tier 1 deck. Alright guys, so that was the how to build and how to beat yellow, both videos back to back on the same day. I hope you guys learned something, especially in regards to all the different variations of yellow and what you can do to not handshake their traps. Alright, so I'll be back on probably Monday. I'm going to locals tomorrow. Might do some gameplay videos while I'm there, and then we will do the Hot Tech Tuesday, of course, and then I'm gonna have to record a few videos for the weekend because I'll be out of town Thursday through Monday. So I might pre-record some stuff and then schedule the uploads. We'll see. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you have some GGs at locals with this information.